So hopefully some of you just saw that I was on IGTV and you decided to subscribe to our newsletter. I'm gonna share some information with you that is only for our subscribers and for those people who are a part of my network. Lots of things going on at the farm. We're working daily, or all of us are, but Evan has really been working daily here to make the farm a better place. He personally dug all of these trenches and is pulling electrical line and water line into this barn where I'm standing right now, which is where I'm going to start doing a lot of our photography and videography. We'll also be able to host educational workshops here at the farm year round because we'll have an air-conditioned heated space. So that's one of the fun things that's happening here. And I really do owe my husband a huge thank you because most people do not know how to jump on a ditch witch, rent one, learn how to operate it, do electrical and plumbing. So a huge round to Evan. I can't even tell you how many trenches there are on this farm as he made an effort to bring power from the manor house to the carriage house to the main bank barn, and then from the tenant house to our third barn, which is what we're calling Evan's barn, which will be our educational barn. Lots of things are happening here. If you saw the IGTV, you'll know that flower stock is coming up. It has an early bird price. That price is going to change on July 1st. It goes up several $100s. Don't want you guys to miss flower stock because it is going to be incredible. We also have a DIY tutorial package available right now via Syndicate, and you get 2 compotes and 2 pillows and then a small instructional video from our studio and then a PDF, and it explains the step-by-step process of designing with the pillow. And I'm so excited that this is available now. No, this is not a threat to anyone who is a professional florist because no one will be able to design the way that we do. But I do hope that by encouraging other people to design and to grow, that we strengthen the love of flowers, and that will propel this profession further, and that is my true belief. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about a very simple design that I made. Kind of looks a little boring right now, but it is made of all different types of hydrangea. And I want you to consider the possibility of going to your local garden center. Right now is a great time to purchase hydrangea. It is in full bloom. You can cut off the blooms, make yourself a piece, and then plant those hydrangea in the garden, or give them to your mom or a girlfriend who has some land and let them grow them for you, and you can go back next year and cut from them. So this particular hydrangea is called Endless Summer, which is available in these pinks and these blues, and also this lovely lavender right here. Having hydrangea on the property is, I think it's one of the most beneficial things to grow, because not only do you get it fresh cut like this, as it progresses in the season, it will antique and it will get a lovely muddy brown, which if you follow me, you know that's one of my favorite colors. The blue will get antique greeny brown. The pink will take on a really muddy, earthy tone. All of these will just actually get more sexy and more beautiful as they age on the bush. This particular one here is Limelight, one of my favorites to grow. The only thing in here is Nandina and Hydrangea. It's a little boring. I would call this design somewhat constipated because it doesn't have the movement. Hydrangea typically is going to create this ball shape, but in a few seconds I'm going to show you how to knock it out. This is Annabelle, another favorite that we grow. This is just really, really magnificent. It typically will be bright green in June, and then by the end of June it's turned this bright white. So all we have in here right now is hydrangea, different varieties, and then this is the Nandina. Nandina is another one that we love to grow, very much like a weed. It is so easy to grow. And these little white berries here, this will become your fall red berry, but at my house, the Nandina never gets to become the red berry because I will use these bits and pieces in my bridal bouquets, and it really makes for some really sexy designs when it comes to wedding work. It is starting to come past its bloom, so it's getting a little yellow, but when it first comes into bud, they're very dainty white blossoms with a little blush hint. So they're really beautiful. So this is what the design looks like right now, just so you can see all of that. And you know, if you only had this in your house, it is a cheery, beautiful bit. But I want to show you some other things that we have. This is oak leaf hydrangea, so that has that muddy color that I was talking about. Now I'm going to add that into the design just because I love the muddy tone, and I also love the shape of this hydrangea. The fact that it is cone shaped rather than the ball makes it really interesting. These were planted in honor of my mother, who just passed away a month ago. And what we do around here in our world, as we're starting to do a little bit of funeral work because we've lost my mom and dad. Each one of them, we built in living plants into their arrangements at I always say altar because of weddings, but at the ceremony. What is the term? I'm sorry. I still can't even talk about Mom's funeral. For her service, we had floral arrangements, and then we had living plants built into the arrangements. And then I took those arrangements, these plants home and put them on the farm so that every time I go forward and cut, I will be thinking about my mom. I have Abelia and Nandina. That's probably where the Nandina came from. That I planted in honor of my dad. So those things help me stay connected to them and make the things that we're planning here on the farm really personal and purposeful. So already that changes the shape of the design quite a bit. This is something that most people don't think about using. This is Mandevilla, and this can be purchased at the garden center. Everything that I am going to talk about is available at the garden center, and I want you to think about, or roadside think about maybe going to the garden center and getting some things that you can cut and bring into your home. So Mandevilla is a trellis vine. Typically, if you will purchase it when it is not on a trellis, then it's not going to wind itself up around the trellis, and you're going to get these beautiful laterals. While it looks like it's quite fragile, it is a fabulous cut flower, and that is also going to give this design a little bit more shape and interest, just because of the fact that we're going to now have tendrils hanging out. So the Mandevilla is available in red and white and pink. The red is my favorite because it's got that sexy muddy color, but you can see that that really starts to knock out the shape of this design. I am, designing in my pillow. If you would like a little tutorial on how I use the pillow, that is available on 46-inch spruce. And I already mentioned this, but I'll mention it again. You can get 2 compotes and 2 pillows from 46-inch spruce with a instructional video from me, and then also a PDF about some of the different flowers we like to grow. So the Mandevilla is one of those people. Flowers, whatever, they're my people. Look at what that does to the design. It completely changes it. This is raspberry. I doubt many of you will have this at your property, but if you start looking roadside, the wild raspberries are coming in right now, and that adds a lot of fun dimension and shape to a centerpiece. One of the keys, I think, to arranging, in particularly when you're designing with like hydrangea and things that are very stiff, is to add level and interest so that the design becomes way more sexy. You don't want to create just a ball. Well, maybe you do if that's what you like, but I like for things to have a lot more interest. So I'm just inserting them through the pillow into the water. So this design is really coming together. Now, this is yarrow. This is available also right now at the garden centers, and it is perennial. It'll come back every year, and it is in full bloom. So I, think it makes more sense to go to the garden center right now and buy a bunch of plants, put them in the ground, and then you'll have them next year. The yarrow comes in lots of different colors. We typically see it in the yellow, but I happen to love the pinks and the whites, so I hope you'll consider going out and getting some yarrow. So that will also add a little bit more movement. I love this pink tone here. One of the tricks also is to go into the center of the hydrangea so that you are breaking up that ball. It just gives the design a little bit more dimension. And I'm going to show you I have two other treats that I'm actually not going to put into this, but I want you to see them. So this is Crocosmia. I'm not going to put this in just because it's not the color of this. But this is also wonderful to purchase. These plants, they are also in bloom at the garden centers right now. This comes back every year. Each one of these is just like a little piece of art. And all of these will bloom out. And then this is also a pod that you can design with as well. So these are one of my favorites to grow. The tuber or the bulb continues to grow underneath the ground, and the actual plant just keeps getting bigger and bigger each year. I also wanted to share with you a very exciting thing. We have gotten our first dahlia, and it's June. Now, this is a really big deal for me because if you follow our studio, you'll remember that last year was a very disappointing year for us. We lost so many dahlias, several hundred, probably like 700 of them rotted in the field because of the rain. And this year we have perfect weather and our dahlias are just doing magnificently. So I'm happy to report that good news. So I hope that this little tip was fun for you and just for the people that are a part of our subscriber list. I did hint that I would reveal a mistake I made, and I am going to disclose that I have to be really careful because I don't want you to know what vendor this happened with or where this happened, but I didn't actually complete a task. And because of that, our company is being charged $800, which is a lot of money. When you consider the profit margin on each one of our events, $800 is a major part of the profit. And it is a situation where the client is very happy, and if I don't complete this task, they're going to lose their security deposit. They're not even giving me the opportunity to complete this task. But if I don't pay this fee, then the client is going to lose their security deposit. So in this situation, as a business owner who really does care about her clients, I have no choice but to pay this fee. On the back side of this, it's been really, really painful because I wasn't given the opportunity to clean up. I wasn't given the opportunity to explain the situation, and the cleanup would have maybe cost $50 to $75 had they been fair about the situation. So in one realm, this is completely my fault because I didn't complete something that I should have completed. I missed, I under-delivered. But the only thing I can do to make this right is to make sure that it's okay for my customer. That's all that matters. So that's the tip that I have for you today. I hope that you all enjoyed this, and don't forget to let us know if you're enjoying the newsletter and think about flower stock and think about the upcoming workshop with Gregor Lersch.